So, now what I want to do. I've got my legs rigged up. I want to get my body going. I should also mention, too, I'm going to take my Do Not Touch group, and I'm going to hide it. Yes, I don't need to see it anymore. Then, what I'm going to do, is bring back my Geo. Okay. And I'm going to go to my right view, and I need some controllers for my Beetle. I'm going to use I already used nerve circles for the feet. Oh, they're a little bit high, whatever. Okay, I'm going to go in here and I'll go to create CV curve tool, and I'll have it on 3 cubic. Let's go in and create myself a little thorax type thing. I'm just going to go and follow the shape of this. Something is easy to select. Okay, something like that. Okay, cool. And Thor. Then I'm going to go ahead and do another one. And if I go boom, go over here, so I can grab my head. You can make it in any shape you want. Enter. And I'm going to make one for my backside here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, well, there, that's a good shape. Enter. Oh, I didn't do a very nice job there. Okay, good enough. Okay, good. So, we'll just go in and, let's see, pivot point for this thing. This thing here, let's just, well actually, before I do that, let's call it head. Control. Okay, and this one is going to be thorax underscore control, and that one there will be abdomen underscore control. Okay, good. Now the pivot points are in a funny place. So the head, I want the pivot point over here, so I'm going to hold down D and V at the same time. Middle click wiggle, boom, there, that one's done. Take this one and D, V, middle click wiggle, boop, there we go. And this one here is going to be a bit trickier, but if I do a D and a V and a middle click wiggle, there, I'll get it right into the root joint area. Yay! So there's all my happy controls, and we can see them sitting over here. Let's see, anything else I want to make? I'm going to go in and grab the control, the head control that is, and the head joint, and I'm going to use a constraint on it. I'm going to use a parent constraint. And again, there's all sorts of stuff I'm skipping over here. And again, this is just one way of doing this. I'm grabbing the thorax control, holding down shift and grabbing the thorax joint and going constrain, parent constraint. And I'll do the same thing with the abdomen control. Okay, and constrain, parent constraint. Now you'll notice that if I grab this control here for my head and I move it, the head moves. Yay! If I move this one, the thorax moves, the head seems locked. Okay, I need to parent the head control to the thorax control. I'm middle click dragging here in the hypergraph. Okay, this is different than the parent constraint. Okay, also I might notice that, you know, this might wiggle. This works for wiggling my butt. Actually, I don't have shell joints in here. Maybe I'll try and whip those in this at the end of this video too. But for now, maybe I'll just grab that and I'll hide it. I'm going to hide that too, there, so it isn't so obnoxious geometry crashing into geometry. And I need another control because now I have an abdomen control, thorax, and head, but I need to get something that's going to move all of it. I want it all to move. It's not just good enough that I can move them individually. I'm just going to make something like this. I'll make a circle. I could make a really, really fancy shape, but I'm just trying to skip through this really quick. Quick. Okay, great. And let's pull this up here so it's somewhere in the middle here. And I'm just going to move its pivot point onto the root joint too. DV, middle click, wiggle! There. Good. Great. And this little NURB circle, let's just kill the history on it. And let's freeze out the transformations. And I'm just going to grab this thing and I'm going to call it body underscore control. Good. So, now, this control, I'm going to have it selected, and I'm going to grab the root joint, and I'm going to go constrain, parent constraint. Okay, notice nothing is really moving or changing in here. That's just basically we're getting constraints into place. Okay, so that we can animate this whole character without looking at the bones or any IK handles and stuff like that. I'm going to take the abdomen, I'm going to parent it to the body. Thorax, parent that to the body control. Sorry, both are being parented to the body control. So now whenever I grab the body control and I move it, it moves the body. Yay! Okay, great. Now I need one more control. And let's just go and isolate select, and I'm going to go auto load new objects, and hopefully I'll be able to see this as I do it. I'm going to go into create curves. I'm going to use the EP curve, and I'm going to put on one linear. And I'm going to hold down X when I do this. I'll go in here, X, there. Doesn't look like it's going to let me do this, so let's hide this, let's hide that. Okay, let's do it this way. Holding down X as I'm doing this as I draw, and they snap to the grid. You can make any shape you really want. You can make it look like a squirrel. You can make it look like a big hat. You can make it look like a chicken. You can do whatever you want. But I think this control should look something like this. I'm going to scale it up, and I'm going to freeze out my transformations. I usually like it a little bit bigger than my object though. There we go. Actually, I don't even need to see my skeleton anymore. I think I can hide my skeleton. Yay! Look at my legs, they're sticking through my back. I hate when that happens, when I'm sleeping. Anyway, this control, I like to call this one God _ control. Boop. Okay, wonderful. And God control, I like to parent the body control to the God control. Okay. Middle click dragging in the hypergraph. You can also just select this thing, hold down shift and select the God control and hit P on your keyboard. Okay. You'll also notice the feet are not part of this, so I'm going to grab the feet controls. Whoop, 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 whoop. And then grab God last, and if I hit P, I parent it, and now they just moved over a little bit, and there's all my controls. Yay! They're all done. I might do a few other fancy things, but that's what I need to animate. Actually, if I take this and I look at my knee and I go, oh, let's put this down here again. I like it better there. And I think that was like -35. Looked good. This one here, I suspect, should be 35. Okay, and there's ways I could fix this, but and make it all zeroed out, but like I said, I'm trying to go fast. I could be here for too long and make everybody veg out. Okay, great. And this one here I do believe was like 65 or something like that. We'll call that -45. Yeah, we'll put in -45. We'll let that bug, he'll start walking. He'll be able to walk, he won't crash. Okay, good. So there, all those things are set up and I'm happy and I know it. I'm going to take the God control and I'm also going to group it as well. And I'm going to give the name control group. Sounds like I'm doing some kind of Pavlovian testing. I don't know if Pavlov would actually be control group. No, that's the testing of reflexes. Just some kind of psychological testing. Control group. Or pill group. Anyway, so I'm going to go and put this onto a layer as well. And we'll call this control layer. Boop. _ layer. Done. So I can show and hide things whenever I want to. And what else do I need to do? This video here, we're at 9 minutes. Let's go and put in some other little fancy things. We still haven't looked at my wings yet, but that's okay. I'm just going to bring back my skeleton for a second. I think when I have my abdomen here, I'd really like it if when I rotated it, I'd really like it if the rotations all went down the legs here, or not down the legs, down the rest of the abdomen. Had a little bit more movement in there. So I'm going to do a quick little trick. I'm going to grab my joint, abdomen joint 1, and I'm going to go into Window, General Editors, Connection Editor, and I'm going to go and find the rotations for this joint. Rotate! I'm going to grab the next abdomen joint down the chain. I'm going to put that into the right side. And I'm going to go looking for the rotate on this one. I'm going to connect them together. And hopefully this doesn't blow up in my face. Try the same thing with this one here. Right click, rotate. Right click, reload, rotate. Boom. And we'll just check it out and see what that does. It's going to give me a nice squishy butt. I've got like beetle twerks. My twerky beetle. Okay, good. So that's all connected. And let's see, what else can we do to make this fancy? I'm so fancy. I'm going to go in and bring back my wings, and I think they're right there, my shell pieces here, and I'm just going to show there. I'd like it if these things had some bones for them, and so they could open up, and maybe I'll pop out some wings. Maybe I'll put the wings in a later video. If I go in here to skeleton, join tool, and I'm gonna have, I think though, they usually it pops out somewhere around here or here. That's where the shell opens up. I'm gonna say here. I think that's gonna look better. And I'm gonna hold down V and I'll pop one here. Yay! Okay, doesn't really matter where that one is, to be honest. Enter. Maybe I'll name this one. I'll call this L_shell. L shell. Enter. And then this will be L. Oops, crap. _ shell _ and there. Good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this joint and that piece of mesh, skin, bind, smooth bind, and actually I'm just going to go ahead and bind skin. I'm not going to do anything special with that one. If I go over here, actually if I have this just by itself, when I go over to skeleton, I hit mirror joint. Did it. I'm just going to take the same thing. I'm going to take this, that joint, and I'm going to take this shell, and I'm going to go skin, smooth bind. Okay. And then I'm just going to take these two shell pieces, and I'm going to parent them to the root. P. And now they're hooked up. Maybe one thing I'd really like is, I'd like it if those shell pieces, okay, see down here they move, they don't really move that much here, but maybe it'd be really cool if I could move those shells, or the back shell around a little bit, maybe open it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a set-driven key really quick. I'm just going to go to the, do I want to do it on abdomen? Let's do it on body control. I'm going to go over to modify, add attribute, and I'm going to call this shell open. Good. Shell open, and I was smoking crack, and I think I typed in a 0 instead of an O. And minimum, we'll just say 0, and the maximum will be 10. Okay. And I'll deselect everything. I'm going to go to animate, set driven keys, set. Now this is only if I really want to get really fancy. Okay. So I'm going to have the controller selected, and I'm going to load the driver, and we've got shell open here. And I'm going to go and I'm going to grab this joint and that joint. I'm going to grab them both at the same time, load driven. Okay, and I'm going to grab their rotates. All the rotates. I'm being kind of a little bit sloppy here, but whatever. Just I could have a nice clean rotation axis and stuff like that, but I'm not. I'm just going to be cheap. And we know that the shell open is sitting at 0. Okay. So I'm going to hit key, boop, and somehow I deselected. Okay, there we go, key. And then I'm going to take the body control shell open. I'm going to change that to 10. And I'm going to grab these two joints here. Let's just rotate them up, rotate them out, figure out what we want to get from them. And I think probably something like that. Okay, that looks cool. And it might open even more different. Okay, great. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit key. And now we can check it out. Whenever I want to open up my shell, I can just do shell, whoop, whoop. And what I'm doing is I just highlight this and I middle click drag, and I can do this. And I can also pop out my wings. But as my beetle is walking, if I want to move some of my abdomen action around a little bit, abdomen action, I might open up the shell a little bit, and that way I can move them independently, and I'll be happy. There. And what are we at? 15 minutes. I'm going to stop.